Hello everyone, welcome to the first sketchbook tour of hopefully many sketchbook tours. I've been carrying around sketchbooks since as early as I can remember, and I figured I'd start the sketchbook tours around the time that I started taking art really seriously, and I was applying to a bunch of art schools, and I was eventually accepted into Carnegie Mellon's art program in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I attended in the fall of 2008. And this is the sketchbook from that fall, so I thought I'd start there. This is a Moleskine sketchbook. This is their regular sketchbook, the 5x8. It's that yellow paper, that classic look. I ended up doing a lot of Moleskine sketchbooks at the time. I really like Moleskine sketchbooks. To start off, I have a quote from Madonna, who's a fabulous artist, and we'll just get right into it. I had a very sketchy style at the time, very rough, and I took a lot of notes, which you'll see in this book. It's like a lot of notes. I was trying to soak up everything that I was hearing and seeing at the time, so I'm sketching everything I'm looking at and writing down everything I'm hearing because I was so fascinated by the program and everyone around me from all different corners of the world. And we did a lot of figure drawing too. So I'm drawing my peers at the time, as well as all the figure drawing that we're doing. So you're going to see a lot of that. This was a fabulous model that we had. She was wonderful. She worked with us all throughout our freshman year. See here, these are kind of rubbing off. There you go. Oops. You'll see a lot of animal drawings in here. I really love animals, so you'll see a lot of that. This is a study of Rico Lebrun. Rico Lebrun is one of my favorite artists. He's an ink artist, and I'm very highly influenced by him. This was a project where I built, with a lot of help, a set of fully articulated wings that had an 11-foot wingspan. They were humongous. One of the things about Carnegie Mellon is they believe in ambition. So they really strongly encourage you to be incredibly ambitious with your projects. And I consulted the robotics team at the time to help me build this. And that's one of the benefits of going to a multidisciplinary school is that you can work with different disciplines to build these things. These were the notes I took on the designs. I was studying wings and how they worked at the time. And these are the notes that the engineers took on how to build them. They had pneumatic springs built into them. They were fabulous. They were wonderful. Of course, I did not travel back to California with them, but they were cool. Here's more notes. I put a lot of quotes in my sketchbooks too. You can pause at any moment to take a look at these. This was for a study from Meadowcroft, which was a rock shelter. Very cool. One of the things that I loved about Pittsburgh is that even though it's an industrial city, it is surrounded by a lot of stunning, beautiful nature. I loved just exploring the nature out there. It's not a lot of it is in this sketchbook, but in the future sketchbooks, you'll see I explore out into a lot of the nature out in Pittsburgh. I was a competitive ballroom dancer at the time, so I was studying how dancers moved in this little study during a competition. I did a lot of things at the time. I am no longer a dancer now, though, due to a horse accident. More drawings, more dogs and wolves. You'll see a lot of that. Lots of notes. We had a ton of artists who came in to do lectures when we were there. There was so much information to soak up that it was like every single day there was just so much input. It was fabulous. It was so much. And then they took us to a lot of museums and different events to expand our minds. This time they took us to the Frick Museum. So I took the chance to do some studies of paintings there at the Frick. Sometimes we got assignments to do paintings or drawings at various locations, like at the Phipps Botanical Gardens was one of them that I remember. More studies. These were drawings from Nine Inch Nails at the time. This was studies for a book that I did, or that I started at least. Again, ambitious projects. This was looking at the cultural meanings of animals in folklore, and I was looking at different meanings for animals and across different cultures. And I ended up doing these drawings of these animals, and all of these are done in colored pencil with alcohol marker over them. I got several done, but I didn't get to finish the book because it is just so ambitious, because they load you up with classes. But you learn a lot. This was the beginning of my interest in violent sports, and that actually ended up expanding into two grants and a fellowship, 2 research grants and a research fellowship that I ended up doing for the university, and I ended up doing a painting series for it, and it carried me all throughout my 4-year university studies, which I'll get into much later in the sketchbook series. More studies of dogs. I went back to California, and of course these are California sunsets. You can't get that anywhere else. Travel. I was drawing everywhere. Anything I saw, I drew. This was a time period where I was just eating everything up. I was just fascinated by everything. I was learning so much, and I was going to theater performances. I just loved everything. And then this was a study of a fish anatomy. Freshman year was just learning as much as I could as possible, and it was all the goodies of the goodie jar. Just trying to soak everything up. And then the next part of the year was just learning to focus. And that's it. That is the freshman year. And there's a quote, "Life is infinitely stranger than anything the mind could invent," by Arthur Conan Doyle. And then I know people like to see what's in the backs of our sketchbooks. This is my 2D drawing from Mary Widener's drawing class assignments. Mary Widener was one of my favorite teachers in college. More Rico Lebrun drawings. And let me guess, more Rico Lebrun drawings? Yep. I kept his drawings with me all the time. And that is it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you join me for the next one. It'll be a good one. Thank you.